Hello, welcome to video 8 where we're going to create our little GUI software to have our internet radio. So previously we've built up this little bit of code to create a window with buttons, labels, etc., frames, where we click the button and it just starts VLC to play that stream. I'm going to use that stream link, so I'm going to copy that. If I run this code, we'll get this really dodgy looking button that I've created, and click it. Brings up VLC to start playing the web link, but I'm going to start afresh. So what I'll do is I'm going to keep we'll keep that window. Let's create a new file. I'll save this to desktop and we'll call this Internet Radio. Right, so that's a brand new file and let's get cracking. So first of all, we're going to import Tekinter as TK. We're going to need MPV, so let's import MPV. Previous video we called it app, but I'm going to call it root this time. Root is equal to tk.TK, and we're going to call root.title, and we'll call this Internet Radio. We're going to do it really simple. We're not going to do we're not going to have frames in there. I don't know, we'll see. We'll just do it simple anyhow, first of all. But if you want to do it in your version, you can do, as you've learnt in my previous videos in this little series. So we want to have an area where the text is going to go, so we want to have the track and who it's sung by. So we'll have a track underscore label tk.capital and we're going to put this into our root window, and the text is going to be equal to nothing because nothing's going to be playing when we first start it up. I'm going to set the background BG equal to black. I'm going to set the foreground equal to light green, so it stands out, and I'm going to set the initial width so it doesn't keep jumping around changing the different size of the window. I'm going to set the width to be 60. We'll do a track underscore label dot pack, and now we want some buttons. In fact, yeah, we'll put it into a window. No, we'll put the buttons into a window, in fact. So we'll do button underscore frame is equal to tk.frame, and we need to put this into our root window, and we'll set a background. No, I'll just put it in for now. Button underscore frame dot pack, and in that button frame we're going to have a play button. In this folder here, PNG, I've got play, I've got a pause button and a stop button, but I haven't got a mute button. but I'll show you where you can get buttons for absolutely free from a website. In fact, I'll do that now. So I've saved it as a bookmark. It's not there. There you go, font awesome. So there is a free section. So I've just gone down here. There's loads of buttons available, all for free, that you can just get. When you download them, they will set as an SVG. But if you use your GIMP free software, you can change the size of them, etc. And save them as a PNG, because Tkinter works with PNGs, not SVGs, out of the box. If you want to use SVGs, you'll probably need to try using Pillow, import Pillow, working with Tkinter. So there, I'll put that link into the video description to get you to these free buttons, just so that you're aware. Anyhow, let's have a play button equal to tk.B button, and it's going to go into our button underscore frame. We're not going to use any text, we're going to have an actual image, and we will bring that in a second. So we'll do play underscore img. So that's going to be our button, and let's just bring the play img equals tk dot capital P for photo, image with a capital I, and you need to put file and then equals and then the path to the file. So we're currently working on our desktop, so if I just do png / I think it's play dot png, and that should be that one, and then we need to play underscore button dot pack. I'm just going to pack it in there, but we're going to put them side by side, so I'll do side equals left, pop them in there like that. No, we'll do. No, we've used pack, haven't we? Let's do grid, because it's going into a frame, so we can use this. So we'll do row equals 0 and column equals 0. And just for a bit of spacing, we'll do pad x equals 10 and pad in the y direction 10 as well. Have I got too many? Yes, I have. Right, so we want it's a pause button, but it's going to actually mute the software, not rather than pause. If you pause it, then yes, you do pause it, but it's not going to give you the live track info. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'll show you. So we'll call this mute, because I haven't got the mute button. Mute button equals tk dot photo image file equals, and this is definitely a pause. I forgot my path, png / pause png, yep, and that should be mute, because I'm just about to, because that's my image. Mute underscore button equal to tk.button, and this is going to go into the button frame. Why am I doing that one? I want that one. And image is equal to mute underscore image, and we'll do mute underscore button dot grid. This is going to go into row 0 but column equals 1. We don't necessarily, because it's going to be on the same row, we don't necessarily need to add the pad Y, but I'm not going to put a pad X. I'm just going to leave it missing on this because it's going to have 10 pixels gap in between the play and the pause, and then when we do the stop button, which is the next one, we'll put the X, and then it'll just be 10 pixels in between. So stop underscore image equal to tk dot capital P photo image, and the file is equal to png / stop dot png stop underscore button tk dot button. It's going to go into the button frame, and the image that we're going to be working with is equal to stop underscore image, and we'll stop underscore button dot grid. This is going to go in the same row, row 0 and column 2, but this one we're going to do the pad X, so it puts 10 pixels after the pause button, and then you don't really need to do the pad Y because we've already got it on the same row up here, but there we go. So let's have a quick look and see what this looks like. Awesome. Button frame, button frame, button frame. Did you mean button frame? Well, I spelled it wrong, didn't I? Oh dear. Wowzers, they're big. Right, so we need to, so that's our text size area. We need to resize these. So when you're working with images and you want to shrink it down, you need to use play underscore image is equal to, I don't know if you can add it actually into it. Let's try and add it into it. So what you need is sub, what's it called? Sub let me just bring up this, so it'll be tk dot sub why it's not coming up. tk dot what am I doing? Play image dot, there we go, subsample, that's the word I was thinking of, and if you want to zoom to make it bigger, that is where you'd use that. So I want subsample. I knew it was sub something, but I was looking under TK. I should have looked at that. So we need to shrink it down. So that was way too big. Let's try 10. And do the same thing for these as well. In fact, let's try it in this one and see if you can actually do the... No. Oh, what have I done? Yeah, let's just continue the way I've started it. This is mute image equals mute underscore image dot sub sample, and we do the same size because the images are the same size. Go down here and stop image is equal to stop image dot sub sample 10. Right, they should all be shrunk now. That's better. That's much better. But I want to, you see how, let's move that out of the way. You see how I didn't do the pad X on this bit here, but I did on this bit there and this bit here, and my windows jumped behind. So yeah, that's why there's 10 pixels in between there and top and bottom. So even though we did the pad in the Y direction, it's still done it because it's all part of the same row we're using grid. So let's make this a black background. So we'll just close that. Close that, we don't need that. Right, so play button, and we'll do BG equals, should we have black? Yeah, why not? And I'm just going to be slightly lazy, and I'm just going to copy that into there and there, and in the main window I'm going to set the background, so root dot config background is equal to black, and then we should have a completely black unit. We need to we need to do the frame as well, so we'll do background equals black. It's going to look slightly weird being completely black, but we'll try that, see what it looks like. So there we've got us buttons. The reason why we've got them dear, let's get rid of them bits. Because the buttons are black, and that's why you have to hover it. That's why it's showing up, because we're using the hover. So I should have, yeah, we'll leave that as that. Right, so yeah, right. So that's that. So let's get our radio set up. The music. So we'll call our player equals mpv dot capital MPV. I'll pop that in there, and we'll have channels equals, and we're just going to, because we copied it earlier, let me just paste, and I've done it since, Anna. So let's grab that again. I wasn't going to be doing it, but I ended up copying again. So paste that there. Why is it not pasted? Because I definitely clicked copy. So this time, don't close the window. There we go. Now I can close it. Right, so because this is a list, you might want to put more stations in there, but I'm just going to stick one in for now. So what we'll do is we want our buttons to actually trigger the radio to start playing. So we'll put our functions up above here. Yeah, we'll do it here. So define play, and we're going to work with our player, so we'll do player dot play, and we're going to pass in, because we're using, I mean, we didn't necessarily need to, but we're going to use that list just in case you wanted to have more, and we're going to pass in the first argument, which is the only argument, and that will start playing. And we'll do the mute, so we'll do define mute, and this will be player dot, oops, it's not just dot mute though, is it? It's player dot mute equals true. That will mute it, but because I want to click the same button, I'm going to edit this function. But first, let's just create the functions. So stop, and basically player dot stop, and that is pretty much all we need in regards to our functions, but we need to add the command into the buttons. So command equals, this is the player one, yep. Next one, command equals, calling it mute, and command equals stop. That will do that, but we need to know if something is playing, so we're going to set up, we'll just call it playing equals false. So if the player is equal, this is where we want to click that button to mute it and then unmute. I know I've got the wrong button, it's a pause, but just bear with it for now. So if not playing, then we'll do no, that has to be false, doesn't it? Because that doesn't make sense. And then do the else, player dot mute equals true, and that should mute the player, and we need to tell it that player, not player, playing equals true. Because that is a global, we'll need to tell it to work with that global variable. We'll do the same with this because we need it to actually tell it to stop. And we will do playing equals false. Right, that should, in theory, make it work. Let's try it. I'm sure I've done something wrong, no doubt. I did do something wrong because it's muted it. If not playing, it's still playing, so try that. Stop works. Stop does work. Play and stop does work. So we need to get our text up now. So what we'll do is when we click the play button, in fact when we click the mute button, what we'll do is we will print out player.meta data, and then we'll see what comes through when we click that. Why if not playing, I think that's probably why. I don't know, I've messed that up. So that's playing. Click the button, so we've got our metadata of the track, etc. Let's click it again. So we've messed up there. If not, if playing, how could I have done this? I've done these wrong way around. Right, that should be correct. I'm pretty sure of that. It gives us this information. Why is it not player dot mute equals false? If playing, if player what am I doing wrong here? If playing, you click it, it mutes it. Oh, I'm not telling it. It's going to keep doing that because it's still playing. That's why. No. If player dot mute, that's what I should have done. If player dot mute is true, then that should be false to undo it, and if not, then that needs to be true. Please work. Hey, there we go. I don't know what I was thinking there, but we've got the music playing and we've got that, so we need to get our metadata to update the track, and when we click play, I'll show you. If I get the because we're working with track label, we need to add that into there as well. So track label, because we're going to be appending that, and we'll do it after there. So we'll do track label.config, and this wants to be spelt correctly. Text is equal to player.metadata, and we want IC title. I see title. Yep. And that should now give us the track. Oh dear. Because it wasn't playing. Yeah, it needs a slight delay because it doesn't know what it is. If I were to click this button now, you see it prints it out because it's been playing for a couple of seconds, or well, a fair few seconds. So I need to let's import threading, because I'm going to create a thread which will, right, so this will be track info equals threading dot thread, and the target is going to be track what should we call it? Track updater. Yeah. Up. It's because I've got that attached to it. It's thrown me out. I want track. In fact, track info is a better name. Let's put that there, and we'll call this meta thread. Dot start, and now we'll call our track info function track info. Oh dear. And basically we want to update that, so because we want it to update periodically, we need to import time module. So we'll do it before. We'll do time dot sleep, and we'll do it every. We'll go with a second. Do you know what? Let's be a rebel. That's going to run that, and it'll just run it once. So we need to sort out getting it to. That should give us a label with that slight delay. Let's try that. No. Let's put it up to a second, and then we should get the track information. No. It's because I've got the global up there, that's why we're getting that fault. Stop that. Take that out, cut. It needs to be down here now because we're working with the track label. I've got the word spelt wrong as well. Awesome. It's down as 1 second. I see tile. it's going wrong. Yeah, okay. See, it's there now. I see title. Oh, Martin. It's even the wrong one. It's that one. That's why it wasn't working. There we go. I do apologise for all that. Let's make it a little bit bigger because the buttons are a little bit bigger than that. So let's stop that so we don't get a copyright issue. And down here. So the text for the... Let's put this onto a new line. And we'll do font is equal to the current font on this one is Deja Vu, I believe. Sans. Oh, this needs to be in a tuple. Deja Vu. I think it's Vu. Is it VU? Sans. And we'll set the size to be 20. And try that. It's either Vu or a... Yeah, must be right because it's not giving me a fault. There we go. So we've created our web streamer. Let's pop that back there. Stop it so I don't get an issue. And we need to stop the metadata popping up. And there we go. We've finished our web streaming radio player. We can mute it so we don't get any issues. And that will update. So if I just keep talking, we should get to see this. It won't keep updating because I've not created the thread to repeat itself. So to get the track info to keep repeating, we can basically get it to continue. So we can call back the track info function, but that's going to keep that thread going forever. So I only want it to actually do this for whilst the player is playing. So here I'm going to do if playing and move them across. And if it's not playing, I want the track info config to show as level.config text equals nothing, and that should be good. Click play. I think that's the same song that was on earlier, so pause it, well, mute it. I really need to get a mute button, don't I? So when you click the button, you can get it to change to the mute button. There we go. I've got that set to a second, Anna. So let's stop the player. So we've stopped the player, and where's the function? Yep, so it stopped it from updating the information, and it just killed that meta thread that we started. Cool. But I want to change that to be half a second, so it keeps up to date, nice and tight. I think that's everything done then, isn't it? So I'll pause that, and yeah, so that's just what I'm just going to put this up here. We'll keep an eye on it, and it should update the song as and when it's ready, and I'll just talk through the code. So we're importing to Kinter as TK, we're importing threading just to actually create, update the track information, who sings it and what the song is. We're importing time just to give us a slight delay, so it keeps checking every half second. Might be a little extreme, but I don't think it's an issue. And we're using MPV, which runs in the background. So we're creating our player instance. We're setting just one radio station. In an upcoming video, I'll put a correct button in for mute. I'll get hold of one, but I'll also put another button in so you can change between your stations. So that'll be an upcoming video. And I don't really like listening to advertisements, so upcoming videos will be where we have the change of stations. I might even have multiple stations in the GUI, showing what track's on, so you can stop one and play the next one, because you can bring up multiple instances using the player, just by starting it again, and it'll give you different stations. Yeah, so that'll be one of the next few videos, because I don't really like advertisements. So when an advert comes on, it'll say add 1, 6, whatever, or it'll go blank. It depends on the station that you're working with, so you'll have to figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out and get it on there. Come on, song, you must be ready to change now. So yes, we're creating our root to Kinter window, setting the title, setting the background to be black, playing equals false because there's nothing playing when you start the actual code. We've created our play function, which changes the playing global variable. Well, not there, but it does there. There we go, it's changed. So we know it's working. But yeah, basically that's the radio working. So enjoy. I'll put the code into my GitHub, and you can download it, or follow along and type it in yourself, because that's the best way to learn, by doing it yourself. I made some mistakes there, and I'm not ashamed to leave them in the video, because you learn from your mistakes. Okay, well that's it for this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you.